Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time. It's Bits and Bytes. All things consumable from all the places you want to be. That's right. United States edition. 50 states, 50 weeks. What week are we on now? 18, 19, week 19? Looks like week 19. Week 19's big. It's a big state. It's in the north. It's in the northeast. Perhaps the northeast of the northeast, some may say. What's the state? It's Maine! The Maine vein! Welcome to the show, everybody. Maine, you've made it. Week 19 is here. I'm over-modulating in the headphones. Maine, we have your flag. I meant to look up what it means because it actually looks like a tomato sauce can. I didn't even realize it actually says Dorigo on top. Dorigo, as if it's a tomato sauce product. What the hell does that mean? It also says Maine right underneath it. Maine. Just, hey, Maine, we're here. Looks like it's got two settlers on it. One of the guys looks Amish. Can we pull up the flag? How do we pull up the flag over here? Look at this thing. Give me the Maine flag. Dorigo! No, not that. Give me the big one. We gotta see this. This is a silly looking flag. Let's be fair, guys. Maine, you're a little weird with your flag. What is this picture here? This is perfect. Pull this up. Get back. It's too early for technical difficulties. Show me the image. Open the image, Maine. There it is. Look at this. What is that? What are these two dudes doing? What is this, hanging out? We got an anchor. The one dude, Amish dude over here, he's got a little thing on his face. Definitely looks like an Amish man. They got a moose. There you go. It definitely looks like a tomato sauce can. No? All right. Is that just me? Looks like a tomato sauce can. Welcome, everybody. Bits and Bytes Maine. Week 19 is here. We're live, right? Yeah. Fantastic. Let's go to the facts. Give me the facts of Maine. Boom. It's the facts of Maine. The nickname, the Pine Tree State. I guess they have a lot of pine trees up there. Statehood in 1820 is the 23rd state. In fact, allow me to check my notes. Yes, they seceded from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in 1820. That syncs up with my notes. Did my homework. It's good. Population as of July 2016, we're talking 1.3 million almost, 1.4. Capital's Augusta. Biggest city's Portland. Abbreviation is MAINE. Maine's all about a me. Let's see the state bird. Let's see what that guy looks like. It's a black-capped chickadee. Okay. That's a black-capped chickadee, I suppose. And then the state flower, which is not really a flower at all. White pine cone and tassel. There it is. Looks like Christmas. It's probably because it's so goddamn cold up there all the time. Cool story, Maine. Anyway, most northern east state of the Great Union. That is America. We can see it here. Border state to the north, Quebec City in Canada. Keeping the Frenchies out. But that influences a little bit of the food and a little bit of the drink there. Today we have a special guest. We have Jordan Didato. Probably pronouncing his name wrong. He's a research and development chef up in Maine. We're going to get him on to talk about all things Maine. Earlier in the week, I had a guest come through and brought me a bunch of Maine treats. This guest was from Maine. Shout out Play Architect. Check him out. He brought me a lot of Maine treats. And, yeah, I mean, I got some notes here on Maine, but I think we could get back into that. I think we should dive right in to what I'm going to consider very exciting Maine treats. The first thing I was told is that Maine loves MOXIE, which is this soda. I'm not a soda guy, but apparently this soda is from a Maine-born inventor. I don't know if it's made in Maine anymore, but a guy in Maine made it, Dr. Augustine Thompson. Apparently it's a... he made some kind of gentian root, wintergreen sassafras, and possibly even cocaine Added some carbonation and made a little drink. Cured drunkards by the thousand, effectively too. Called it Moxie's Nerve Food. I've never had Moxie. I've heard of Moxie, and I didn't realize that Moxie was a huge thing in Maine. Apparently in the 40s, Moxie was known for its advertising gimmicks and giveaways. Like, here's this guy. Live your life with Moxie. Drink Moxie. And then, you know, it's just, the branding is a little strange. I like this guy. Let's put this guy up there. It's a weird thing. Moxie's a weird thing, apparently. And I've never had it, but guess what? We got it right here. I got a fat 12-pack. Let's get right into it. My boy said, drink it when it's cold. And this is pretty cold. Let's see what kind of color it is. Looks like Coke. Looks like soda. Moxie. You got Moxie, kid. Let's see how it is. All right. Smells like flat Coke. Tastes like soda. Tastes like soda. Spoiler alert. It's got a little Coke to it. You know, like the cocaine vibes, maybe. A little powdery in the back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it's like Coke. It's like root beer. He actually said it was like root beer, like what root beer used to taste like. It's definitely got a medicinal vibe. Like gentian root, for sure. Sarsaparilla. It's like, it's got a little cream, you know? It needs a little cream, right? Like a cream soda vibe. I'm not really sure what's up with this. It's fine. Maine, is this what you're into? This is not the best start, but let's see what else we got. Let's bring it to the box. What else we got in the box down there? That's right. We got a couple strange things. Let's get to the, we got another booze. We got bread in a can. Oh, shit. I meant to bring down the, something to open that on. Fuck. Oh, language. Again, shit. Oh, I got a tray. All right, let's get into this. Cretons. Sounds like something you'd say after you drop something in the 40s housewife. Ah, Cretons. Apparently, Malhot's best pork spread, Cretons, from Maine. U.S. inspected and passed. Ingredients: pork, water, dehydrated onions, salt, and spices. This is pork Cretin produced by E.W. Malhot Sausage Company. Pork or turkey, delivered fresh, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, Cretons is a thing. Used to be very popular in French Canada, which makes sense because you're, you know, right next to the border up there. And this is what Maine's into, I guess. I just want to plow through some of these foods because our guest is joining in a little bit, probably like 20 minutes. Oh, God, this smells horrific. Why would you do this? Okay, there's also mold on it. I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to pass on the Cretons. There's a little bit of mold. It's not expired. Or maybe that's supposed to have that. But you know what? I think we're just going to play it safe. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what this tastes like. It smells like fucking bad scrapple. And it's got a texture of mush. It doesn't smell good. I'm glad I'm not eating it. I'm glad there's mold on top. The dehydrated onion smell is powerful. And it's not expired. Go figure. Okay, so we'll just put that over here and make believe that didn't happen and get that smell out of my nose by drinking some Moxie. Medicine for the soul. I mean, that's not bad. You probably want... I don't even know if you want booze in that. You want like a rum and Moxie? Oh, God, the Cretin smell of... turn my stomach. Cretin. Ugh, God. Jeez. Jesus. All right, so let's dig into Maine a little bit here. So let's see, what do we got? Where's Maine here? Maine is in, if you don't know, like we said, the most northeastern tip, butts up against Canada. It used to be part of Massachusetts, so it broke off. Vermont, New Hampshire. I wonder if they were part of Massachusetts at some point. I don't know. We didn't do those states yet. Coming up, New Hampshire. We got New Brunswick up top here, and then Quebec City, Canada right there, Vermont. You can see this, right? Yeah, Vermont, right to the south. Yeah, it's cold up there. You know, Maine's cold. It's a rough state. You got Portland. Let's see, where is Portland here? Portland's all the way on the south tip. And then I guess as you go up, the colder it gets. I don't even know what's up here. It looks like wilderness. Baxter State Park looks very large. Looks like a lot of people probably just hiding out up there in the woods or something. I'm not quite sure what's going on up there. But that's cool. So Maine is the thing. That's where we are. We're drinking Moxie in Maine. We're not eating gross fucking cretins that are moldy. We do have some interesting food product, though. I think we might be worth getting into here. You've seen these cans of like baked beans before. B&M brand. I mean, I think they make a bunch of shit. You've seen this brand in the store. And apparently, they're in, not B&M parts. B&M fucking canned goods, bro. You pull up the... Right, it's B&M. Brick oven baked brown bread. B&M canned bread. I feel like I've seen this label on other things. Yeah, B&M beans, right? Yeah, there it is. What the hell is with brown bread? Pair with B&M baked beans for that great New England taste. Also available with raisins, and we got it. We got both. I don't know which to start with. We're only going to do one. I'll tell you what, it's bread in a can. Why? Is bread hard to just make? Why do we have to preserve the bread in the can? I don't know what's up with it. As a ready-to-eat version of the regional bread favorite, B&M brown bread in a can is a quirky, beloved, convenient New England tradition. In New England, one of the most popular varieties of brown bread is made by B&M Portland, Maine, and it is sold in a can, and we got it right here. So I think without further ado, we should pop open this can and see what's going on with this brown bread. The directions, let's see if we do it right. Remove both ends of the can. If necessary, gently push loaf out of one end with a spoon. Slice to desired thickness. Toast it, bake it. I'll read it how it is. Wow. I'm anticipating gross. We're going to save the raisin one, and we're going to open the original. So here we go. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, let's see what bread in a can sounds like. Okay, we removed one side of the can. Wow, I thought there was going to be like liquid or something. Is there? No liquid. I mean, it's in there. There's bread in the can. I gotta open both sides, right? That's what they said, so we carry on. Oh, this is gonna be delicious bread. Everyone loves bread in a can. A Maine treat. How about you bring me some blueberries next time? Maine. All right, now it doesn't want to push out. I got a knife here. All right, let's run the knife around the inside of the old can. This looks like, what do you call it? That shitty cranberry sauce you get at Thanksgiving that everyone loves. How do you get this out of here? Oh, here it comes. Everyone get ready, guys. Get around. The canned bread's coming out. Wow, there it is. What the fuck are we doing with this? Maine? Really? Okay. Well, it's definitely canned bread. It smells like Raisin Bran. I really don't know what else to say about it. Let's hack a piece. Let's eat it. Wow, my stomach loves me. All right, let's just cut the end off because that's unappealing looking. Let's see what the inside of the bread looks like. Ah, yes, a nice rise. All right, so I mean, again, it looks like fucking Raisin Bran. It's very dense. All right, let's cut a piece. Man, I wish I was eating some cretins on this right now. I'd feel like a hardcore New Englander. Oh, that's not bad. It's very sweet. The raisin one's probably... I mean, this tastes like Raisin Bran. It tastes like Raisin Bran. You like Raisin Bran? You're gonna love this bread. I guarantee it. Okay. Just got real bread, though. What are we doing? That's not really fantastic. It's very sweet, very molassesy. It's weird. There's a place for this, probably. I don't hate that. I'm not gonna call this bread. It's technically bread. It's like if you cut that up and fry it up, put an egg on it, it's like a sweet breakfast treat. I don't know. Not the worst. Better than I expected. Bread in a can, brown bread. Never see myself going, man, can't wait to have that again. But you know what? It's there. All right. 2 more guys. This is a big thing in Maine. Let's get the brown bread out of here. It's unappealing to look at. Let's be honest. That's fucking bizarre. Home of Lenny, a 1,700-pound chocolate mousse. Len Libby. We got some candies from Len Libby. Len Libby, I guess, is a confectioner up there. But the candy is called a NEEDHAM. And this is a, I believe, a Maine-specific type of candy. And NEEDHAMs are a sweet treat of earthly potatoes, chocolate, and coconut. So they put potatoes, chocolate, and coconut in the NEEDHAMs. And let's see what they're about. Let's see what these... Oh, we got a nice little array here of dark chocolate and milk chocolate. All right, let's get one of these dark chocolate bad boys. So this is a, it's like, it looks like one of these, it looks like a, what do you call it? One of the truffles, or one of those, like, things that you'd get in one of those shitty Russell Stover, chocolate candy boxes around the old Valentine's Day there. Let's cut it open and see what it looks like on this very not supportive MOXIE box. There we go. Ooh, coconut. Well, I don't think coconut's growing in Maine. I'm pretty sure you get some potatoes up there. The inside looks like an Almond Joy. Or it looks like a, yeah, it looks like an Almond Joy. Yeah, well, tastes like Almond Joy. Oh, pretty good though. I'm not getting much of the potato. I don't know if you're supposed to. Maybe our guest will. Maine potato candy. I've never. I mean, I'm not getting potato, but it's pretty good. Because I like Almond Joys, I like coconut. I'm getting coconut, not a lot of potato. All right, well, Maine, that's weird and tasty. Your bird, adorable. Your flower isn't a flower. Ah, yes, Allen's Coffee Brandy. So this is a big thing up there. Heritage, tradition, Maine. It's no accident that Allen's Coffee flavored brandy is the #1 selling spirit in the great state of Maine. My boy came through, saving the best for last. Allen's Coffee Brandy. New England treasure. And a true Maine tradition, Allen's initially earned its popularity among fishermen who added a warming splash to their early morning coffee. Yeah, Maine is a state. It's a big lobster state, and they wake up early up there. Maine, what did I write here? It's like the Midwest of the East. You know, they're their own kind of fucking people up there, but they wake up early. They see the sun first. And, it's lobster country. 90% of the lobsters we get, I think, are all from fucking Maine. So you got people waking up there 4 in the morning going out lobster hunting. You got to hit some of the Allens. So we pay our respects and we hit some of the Allens here. So pretty much Allen's is saying we've made this for drunks, drunk fishermen who like to get drunk before catching lobsters. I like that that's their first opening line. Where the hell's my mouse? Where we go? Losing everything here. Falling apart. Allen's Coffee flavored brandy now satiates Maine's coffee hankerings in nearly every corner of the state. In fact, it has become a cultural rite of passage from Kittery to Fort Kent. Allen's is a beverage shared between generations of Mainers. Yeah! That was like a Moxie bit. Ooh, smells good. Ooh, whoa. All right. Smells, what kind of booze we got in here? 60 proof, so it's like a liqueur. Very popular favorite, derives its character from natural flavor extracted from select imported coffee beans, which generally means they're using shit coffee beans, let's be honest. Spanning generations. Oh, look, they have a Allen's cold brew. Good, a bold new brew. Well, let's try this on its own. I'm sure it needs a little ice. It looks thick. Smells like a Kahlua vibe. I'm not getting a lot of, I guess I get a little bit of brandy. Let's learn more. Oh, yeah. That's good. That's good. Maynards like to drink the way life should be. The waking up and drinking brandy in the morning. Okay, Maine, I didn't know you partied like that. If Maine had an official state drink, there's no question that the title would belong to Allen's Coffee Flavored Brandy. Countless unforgettable stories start with a bottle of ACFB. I hate the abbreviation. I'm not a fan of that. I think we should go back. Whether it's mud season, time to load the car and head up to camp, or simply a day out on the lake fishing, all Mainers know that Allen's Coffee Flavored Brandy has come along for the trip. So if you're rolling with Maine people, this is a good question for our guests. If you're rolling in Maine, everyone, you know you got this in the bag. You don't not bring this. After all these years, we're prouder than ever to be your loyal companion. Cheers to you. Yeah, great. Is there actually caffeine in here? I don't hate this. This is really good. I'm going to put an ice cube in it and just sip on it. It's got a bold coffee taste to it. The smell reminds me of like Dunkin' Donuts. Like that. The fake kind of coffee they use. I mean, we could do a whole show on coffee, obviously, but that Dunkin' Donuts coffee, that pure Arabica, you know, that they're using over there or whatever, it's just got Dunkin' vibes. If you like Dunkin' coffee, you're going to love this shit. Someone told me recently that Dunkin' coffee's a lot better than it used to be. Used to be a hater. Whatever. Still am. Made with real imported coffee bean extract. Okay, so they're just buying some liquid and adding it to shitty brandy and whatever, man. That's pretty good. I'm not mad at that. I wonder how accurate it is, though. Is that something that, you know, all Mainers are actually getting down with? And then, what this show was going to be if I didn't get this bounty of gifts from Play Architect. Shout out Matt, Play Architect. Check out his channel at Play Architect. If I didn't get all these delicious treats from my main friend, I was gonna have a lobster bake or something like that. Cook a couple lobster rolls. Because there's New England lobster roll, and I mean, I'm pretty sure we could say that Maine has its own style of lobster roll. There's Maine lobster rolls, and there's Connecticut lobster rolls. Maine is, I believe, the buttery, is it buttery and mayo? No, butter and mayo is the Connecticut one, right? And then Maine is the cold one. Yeah, Maine is the one that's like a lobster roll with a little bit of mayo tossed in, obviously some butter and stuff like that, but it's more like a lobster salad of sort. And then the Connecticut one is the hot one that's just dressed with butter, generally speaking. You know, and that, you know, people fight about all kinds of dumb food shit, but let's just be honest. Maine gives us all our lobsters, and you know, if they say make a little salad out of it, I'm for it. I'm not against it. I'm for it. Let's look up let's see a Maine lobster roll, though. Give me a Maine lobster roll. Show me Maine lobster roll! Yeah, I mean, that looks really good. We should have just done that instead of eating brown bread and moldy fucking cretins. You know, whatever, it's okay. Yeah, look, that's America right there. Look at that. Ah, yeah. That screams like summer. Oh, our guest is joining. Let's get our guest up and running here. Jordan. Hello, hello. Let's see, can I hear him? Can you hear me? Setting up the shot here with Jordan. Jordan, can you hear me? I see you. I can't hear you. Yep, look good, no sound. Technical difficulties. There's probably like a settings button with a little audio thing. Click, click, boom. I'm sure you'll find it. Just talking about lobster rolls here. I got very excited for a minute. I'm very hungry. What do we got here? I was gonna look at these lobster rolls one more time. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, I don't know if I prefer the Maine one to the Connecticut one. I guess I like a Connecticut one, not gonna lie. I don't want to shit on Maine lobster rolls, but these do look pretty good. I cannot hear you, sir. I see you. I can't hear you. I don't know what, I feel like this happened last time, too, with somebody. Like, maybe, like, refresh it or something? I don't know what to say. It's not me, is that right? No. I see that it's, yeah, rejoin. There you go. Hey, look, it's me twice. Well, he's gonna join again. Here we go. Let's see if that works. Hello, hello?
Hello.
Yeah, now I hear you.
Oh, perfect. Great.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I feel like that happened last time, too.
Just a simple little reboot like that. It works perfectly.
A nice little refresh will always do it. Jordan, welcome to the show, bud. Thanks for joining. Thanks for taking some time out of your day.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to talk about Maine. I got a lineup of stuff here. A friend of mine was in town from Maine this week, actually, so I told him I was doing the show, and he brought me a bunch of crap. I got some brown bread, I got some Cretons, and I got some, Allens. But tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then we'll get into some Maine chat, man.
Yeah, so my name's Jordan. I've been in like the food industry for a while. Went to the Culinary Institute of America, got a bachelor's degree from there, and I've been in the research and development world, developing desserts for places like Panera and Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. Kind of segued out of that and just have been exploring Maine, living here, and enjoying everything that the state has to offer.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been a fun 5 years post graduation, just really diving headfirst into Maine. I've definitely had my fair share of Allen's coffee brandy.
So I got the MOXIE here. I was told that people in Maine love MOXIE, so he brought me a case of MOXIE. I got the brown bread, but he's like, this is the thing. He's like, this is the main
Allen's
thing.
Is the thing.
And I was gonna ask you, I was like, is this a real thing? I just read off the website. They're like, oh, everyone knows when you're going up to camp, you got a bag of Allen's with you. I was like, is it? It's really good though. I don't hate it.
It's sweet. It's like it's almost like something you could pour over ice cream or something.
Absolutely, it's not too syrupy. Like I don't know if I'm getting brandy. It's definitely like weird fake-ish coffee flavor, but it's good. Like I could see camping and chugging this in the morning.
Yeah, it hits the spot. Especially people up here, they drink it with milk and they call it a sombrero.
I don't think I want that.
That's like people's go-to thing. Yeah,
that's a bit
like
much.
It's Allen's coffee, brandy, and milk.
That's like a weird White Russian, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird White Russian. Milk and alcohol, I just feel like don't go together.
Yeah, that's not my forte. That's not really, well, I'm not into that either. I'm with you on that. That's cool. So R&D chef up in Maine, that is cool. You obviously fit the part. You have the Maine beard, I could see. My friend moved up to Maine. I think the day he got there, he just got a big ass beard. I was just like, that's what you get. You start lumberjacking, and you're in Maine now.
Yeah, as soon as you like switch over your residency, the beer just kind of like comes.
That's just what happens. Like with the license, maybe. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So where? I don't want to give out your exact location, but where out in Maine are you? Maine's a pretty big state.
I'm in southern Maine, in like the Portland area.
Portland area,
right
cool.
Now, yeah, so I'm in Biddeford, which is kind of like a small suburb of Portland, and it's really up and coming. Just like a little Main Street. Yeah, Biddeford is one of these places that always gets named like one of the best small towns in America. We've had like some James Beard nominated chefs here.
Oh, nice.
One of the top 10 bagel spots in the country is here in Biddeford, right in the mill.
Do you get those Montreal? Is it those Montreal style ones? That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, Montreal style ones, which kind of hit the spot, little different.
I love those. So yeah, they do the wood fired over there.
Yep, wood fire,
nice.
Sourdough bagels.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're saying it's like looks burnt, tastes great.
Yeah, I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, I see it here on the map. I'm pulling up the map. I see it's like just south of Portland over there. Cool.
Yeah, just south of Portland, like 15 minutes. So easy to get into Portland to go see music when music was happening.
Right.
And go explore like the bounty of restaurants that is in Portland.
Maine's
a little bit out of the edge.
So Maine's like a big state, right? I'm looking at it. I mean, I see Portland. That's like where everyone probably is, I guess. And maybe Bangor. I guess there's some people up there. Bar Harbor looks like a place I've heard of. But like, let's break it down like this. Like I ask everybody this from every state. In New Jersey, I'm in New Jersey, so I could break it down into like kind of 3 sections. There's like North Jersey, Central Jersey, and South Jersey. Like North's kind of close to New York, so it's got like a New York kind of vibe. Central's like shore towns, kind of like generally speaking. And the South is a little closer to Philly and like AC and Cape May, so it's got its own kind of like Philly thing. Like, how would you break up Maine at like a high level? Like, just looking at it, I see where the Portland section is. What about the rest of it? Is it just Portland and the rest, or is it kind of regional-ish?
You can break it down in a couple of ways, and like the most basic kind of macro way would be is Portland, and then everything south of Portland, including Portland, is southern Maine, which is kind of its own little thing. It's almost becoming like northern Massachusetts in a way.
Okay.
And then everything north of Portland is its own thing, with Augusta being the capital, and definitely like a more rural. As soon as you start going up there, I mean, it's a more rural thing, but it definitely breaks down even more regionally than that, with like the coastal communities, because Maine kind of has like, it offers everything that New England has. So you have like the coast and the beaches, you have these like the vast wilderness, mountains, everything.
Yeah, so the state park looks huge up there. The Baxter State Park. Yeah,
it's insane how big it is, and also how underdeveloped it is. I mean, it's just like almost like the last great wilderness of this area.
Right.
But yeah, the coastal communities are totally different than more inland. So yeah, it breaks down like pretty much like that.
Yeah, I see these, like, I'm like looking around on the map here. I see it's like all the little fingers and the little I'm assuming very cold islands up there in the winter.
Yeah, very cold, very beautiful. Lots of great oysters and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've had some great shellfish when I was up in Montreal, when they were getting stuff from the same waters over there. Really great stuff, like the Nova Scotia, whatever that is, the Bay of is that the Bay of Fundy up there or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Maine is a very large state. There's no question about it. So is there, I don't know, does like Canada bleed into kind of Maine at some point? Like, is there a Canadian kind of influence or vibe? Like, Portland's obviously a little different, right? Like, Portland's its own.
Yeah, Portland's different than Portland's its own little microcosm.
Yeah.
Like, it's its own thing, which is both good and bad. It's a great place, like so much. It has so much to offer.
Right.
And then the further you get out, there's just totally different communities, different like way of living. And the further north you go, Canada definitely starts to bleed in. So does that Acadian kind of culture.
Yeah.
Because the Cajuns that are down in Louisiana originally were from way north in Maine, and then they migrated down that way. And there's still some of that that culture up there, where like French is the predominant language.
Right.
All the signs are like bilingual, so they're in both French and English. There's always like kilometers per hour on the roads, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you almost feel like you're in like little Quebec or something.
Yeah, that's because that's what Canada's like up there. Yeah, that's weird. So I figured it would kind of bleed over up there. That's funny. I had no idea that all those like that Louisiana Cajun vibe is kind of from up there. And the guy we were talking to last week from Louisiana, he was saying, he's like, there's a whole Maine contingent that's down there, and that's like a whole separate world of people. Yep. It's crazy. Exactly. I mean, it's a long haul, but it makes sense when you think about it. The French and that's how it all got there. So
yeah, other people migrated down there, and they stopped in Kentucky along the way, Pennsylvania. Yep.
So I guess let's talk a little bit about like I guess some of the foods here, and then you can tell me about some stuff there. I mean, is MOXIE a thing? Like, you into MOXIE up there? I mean,
MOXIE's definitely a thing. Right. I do a little bit of like consulting work on my friend's food truck, and I've helped promote him and whatnot.
Right.
And we sell 3 sodas on the truck. We sell Coke, then we sell Fresca, and we sell MOXIE. Yep. And everybody gets a MOXIE with their sandwich. You see MOXIE everywhere.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He's like, MOXIE is big up here. I was like, I mean, I've only heard it almost like as a joke. Like, I don't think you could even get it down here in Jersey. I mean, I'm sure you could ship it here.
Yeah, it's one of those things, just like you can't really get like pork roll up here.
Yeah, it's just like a regional kind of weird thing, I guess. And then there's, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm the kind of person that like I try everything 3 times. Like, I want to like something. I want to acquire taste for it. Yeah. MOXIE's one of those things that I've never been able to like enjoy a full can of.
I don't know if it's like this. I'm not soda guy, number one, but like it's not. If I'm gonna drink that, it's just like it's like a fake root beer or something. It's like, just give me a real root beer. It feels like it's missing something.
Yeah, there's definitely like there's like a very like herbaceous quality to it as well.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but it's a little medicinal. It's almost like an Amaro or something. It's kind of strange.
It's very, very similar to an Amaro. Yeah, I'm sure you could use it in like a small dose to make an interesting cocktail.
Definitely. That's a good point. It definitely is in Amaro vibes. It definitely would work in a cocktail because it definitely has a little bit of that total medicinal kind of thing going on. But people
and some MOXIE.
All right, that could be good. All right, I'm gonna put that in the book.
Yeah.
And then there's brown bread. He's like, this is a thing up there apparently, and it's in a can. I was like, what is this? And it tastes like raisin bran to me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it's like. I mean, it has its certain aesthetic and everything. And the B&M factory is amazing. Like when you're driving into Portland, which is not the capital of Maine, but like it's the biggest city.
Yeah.
The B&M factory is right there on the water, and you always see that. It always greets you.
That's what he says. Yeah, he's like, you have to have this because it's just the thing there.
Yeah, brown bread. I mean, beans have always been such a mainstay of Maine food, like the way that people have cooked going back to the original colonization of the state.
Yeah,
they would bury the beans with hot rocks, lots of bacon or bear fat and maple. And beans have just been one of those life sources for the people up here.
Yeah, and that carried down to Louisiana too. They love the beans down there. Beans in New England. It's the whole New England thing. Beans, grew the country. But yeah, this is weird. Like, I don't know, like what is this something that people are gonna like eat at the dinner table? Like, oh, we're gonna have brown bread tonight. Like, I feel like I'm eating it. It's like this isn't bad, but when am I having this?
A lot of people make their own brown bread or some form of brown bread, and they eat it with like cream cheese.
I could see that. Like that. It's like it's like a tea snack almost or something.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very similar to that. And that whole vibe is still alive and well up here. Like the older generation still is going out for like that late tea time kind of breakfast, eating stuff like date nut bread and brown bread and cream cheese and different jellies.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, it's
that's
nice.
Kind of cool.
There's still such an old school vibe in Maine that hasn't been changed. Like there's still such a strong culture that just dates back to the way things were done before all of this.
Yeah, I mean they're an old state. They seceded from Massachusetts back in the day, right? And then it's like the culture's based, I would think, like a huge part of it is at least based on like fishing and all that. Like lobsters and stuff are such a huge part of the business up there, or the culture even. So that kind of instills, that kind of old school vibe. Like you get the 4 a.m. fishermen going out, and that, that kind of kicks over the whole culture, I guess.
Yeah. Fishing and agriculture are two of like the state's biggest things. That's another way to break down the way the state is kind of. There's like the coastal fishing communities, and there's the agricultural people behind the coast,
What kind of farming is going on out there?
A lot of potatoes.
Is that why there's potatoes in the candy? The NEEDHAMS? Is that why?
Yeah. Potatoes are such a large. I think they're the largest crop up north. I think cannabis actually just passed it.
Crazy.
But food-wise, potatoes are grown up north abundantly. I think Maine used to be called the potato state, but now we're the 8th largest producer of potatoes.
Yeah, I think Idaho stole that from everybody.
Yeah. They love Idaho. But Maine potatoes there's still like just like how beans are such an important part of like cultures across the globe.
Right.
Potatoes are too, and like potatoes have their place in Maine cuisine. You see them in everything. Even there's a famous donut shop called the Holy Donut that started in Portland, and they use mashed potatoes or potato puree in their donuts.
I've heard of that before. Like people use a lot of baked stuff. Like it's like the secret ingredient because it adds air and fluff to it. So
yeah, it adds moisture. And it's almost like you equate it to an Italian cuisine, like making gnocchi or something.
Right.
You use potato gnocchi, and it just like makes this little pillowy puff of deliciousness.
This is adding that to a donut sounds delicious.
Yeah, so potatoes are really in everything. I mean, people eat potatoes at like every meal. It's like baked potatoes. It's potatoes and chowder, French fries with like your fried clams and all that stuff.
Oh man, I want fried clams now.
I know. Oh my God. It's the season up here where all the seafood shacks are opening up is just starting, or it just started a month ago.
Oh, I got to get out there.
And so people are outside just eating fried seafood.
That's all I want to do is go to Maine and eat fried seafood. Yeah, they're opening up too. Like, are all the restrictions getting loosened up there? The corona restrictions?
I mean, you just be like, cautious. You sit outside. Everything's mostly outside now.
Yeah.
Like you're hanging outside.
But I think I heard they were opening it up. I think I heard that earlier today. Like there's the official word, whatever that means anymore.
Yeah, things are definitely getting more lively, and it feels nice.
Yeah, it feels good to have things start coming alive again. That's for sure.
Oh, definitely.
What else? So yeah, we got the cretons, or not the cretons. The cretons I have here, which are moldy. I'm not going to eat those, but it's like a pork spread, which just looks like it smells like a bad pate, like from Canada. I'm assuming that's just kind of like a pate vibe. I don't know if that's a thing. The cretons, cretons.
The whole Canadian cuisine thing like bleeds down into it. So there's like the pork pies and those strange pates and stuff. You even go like into like the Hannafords, which is our like supermarket that's kind of everywhere.
Right.
And there's always this local brand that sells like pork pies and this pork pate spread called like Cretan stuff.
Yeah, that's what this is. Yeah, weird.
Yeah, it's you honestly like I don't see anybody ever buying it. I don't hear anybody ever talking about it, but it's always
there
being restocked. Yeah, it's always being restocked. So it has its contingency.
The old crew who's buying the canned brown bread is buying the cretons. Probably they're making little sandwiches together out of it. So what else is going on in Maine food wise? Like what else? I mean, this is these are just some of the highlight reels, I guess, of silly Maine stuff. But like, what's the you said the potatoes are big up there because they're growing that up there. But like, what else is going on? I guess in the area up there and like in Portland, like what kind of, I don't know, if you're going out like a Tuesday night, what's the kind of food you're gonna have, generally speaking?
There's what's so great about like Maine, like this like area in southern Maine where I am is there's everything. I mean, there was a point where Portland had the most restaurants per capita in the United States. And you really can get anything you want, and what's good is you can get anything you want, but you can get it done right. So
it's nice.
I mean, I'm always trying to eat like locally and seasonally, and I'm exploring these new restaurants that are opening up. But you can go anywhere. You basically, like in Portland, you choose a street, you go walk down Washington Ave or something, and you have places like Izakaya Minatu, which does this traditional like izakaya style dining with all local Maine seafood.
Nice.
Stuff like that, and you get to like sit outside, and a lot of times it's just getting a sandwich somewhere and bringing it to one of the breweries, and hang out there.
A lot of breweries up there too, right? Like Allagash is up there.
Giant part of the Maine life, I guess, is the beer that's available.
Maine Beer Company is fantastic. What else is up there good beer wise? I know Allagash is great. Maine Beer Company makes fantastic beer.
There's Banded Brewing right here in Biddeford brews some of the most consistent, like old world style beers.
Oh, what is the name? I love that's right in my wheelhouse. Consistency and old world. That's what I love.
Yeah.
What Banded you said?
Really, none of those like smoothie beers and stuff like that. They're doing like really cool Maibachs and barley wine.
Yes, those are so hard to do. I love places that do that. Here it is, Banded Brewing.
Yeah, they're called Banded Brewing. That's a place that I just walk down to, and they're great. And so is like Bissell Brothers. They kind of hopped onto that, started the Maine IPA, that doing that hazy New England, very fresh.
People love that. People love those.
Yeah, people love that. People line up for that. I was just at Barreled Souls, which does more old world style beers. They do everything's fermented in wood.
Oh, nice.
So I'm actually having one of their beers right now. It's called Speakeasy. They do a Speakeasy series of barrel-aged beers based off of different cocktails.
That's awesome.
So this is like a tequila barrel-aged goza with mango and orange. So it's like a mango margarita. They've done a Kentucky Mule one.
Nice.
But really refined and not overboard.
What's the name of that brewery?
That's Barreled Souls. So Barreled Souls is a really fun one.
That's an interesting way to do it. I mean, it's always interesting because, like, I like seeing the breweries in every state. I feel like we're just becoming a beer show for the first couple states because every state has breweries, which is great. But generally around where the breweries are is like where cool food pops up all the time. The food trucks roll in, the brewery's there. People care about their beer and stuff like that. And then generally, and I'm sure it's the case in Maine, once the breweries are in town, at least the way it was in New Jersey, then the distilleries start popping up a couple years later.
Yep, that's exactly what happens. Yeah. You see these little communities building around it.
Yeah.
And those communities that pop up because of the breweries and then the restaurants and the distilleries and stuff like that, it's such a tight-knit kind of thing with everybody helping each other, whether it's with promotion or you need help with something or anything. You have this cool group of people that are all striving for the same thing, and that's just providing good, consistent food and like a happy place for people to be.
Yeah, that's the best. What's better than that?
Yeah, it's abundant up here. There's a lot of it.
Yeah, I love that. I love even just whenever you see that happening. I'm a big fan of that. And I'm looking at, what is this, Maine Craft Distilling now. Looks like I wish I got some of this booze. Looks like they got some interesting stuff. They got a blueberry.
Some really cool canned cocktails. You can go even like I could walk down to the gas station now and buy their they do like a canned blueberry and vodka.
That sounds delicious.
It's delicious, yeah, and it hits the spot.
Yeah, I had some blueberry beer from up in Maine that was like, I was like, blueberry beer, and I had it. I was like, this is so good.
Blueberries are such a giant part of like our. But I mean, agriculturally and just like life and food up here, I think the blueberry is the best berry. I think it's such like a subtle flavor, but especially in beer, when done right, it can be really, really good. Like most things, you got to do it right. It's tricky with the beers. You know, there's so many breweries, especially over here in Jersey, that pop up. And you hit it. Consistency. You're R&D chefs, so like consistency is like the hardest thing to do. It's like the hardest, like my coffee shop. It's the hardest thing to do is make the coffee the same way twice over there. I don't know why. I could do it at home, but they can't do it. But the consistency is the hardest thing to do in any kind of like food production environment. And for a brewery to do it, it's almost harder because I brewed beer for a little bit. There's a lot of factors, like minute factors that kick off a beer in a different way. So any place that can do a batch the same way a couple times, deserves all the credit for sure. Yeah, exactly. With beer, it's not just like throwing together a tomato sauce or something. It's more like baking a bread where you have to follow every step to a T. Yeah, including like your sanitation practices, and all like the factors out there with the different like the wild yeast and stuff. It's, the wild yeast, the ones that you're pitching, and then like you said, the contamination factors, like how much sugar you're extracting from certain grains, and then you get real minute. The grains are different every year, so it's like a lot of stuff to keep your hands on. That's why Budweiser. Yeah, I'm not drinking Budweisers, but you know what? It's hard to make that. It's not easy to make Budweiser by the millions and millions and millions of cans and have it taste the same. Yeah, and sometimes a Michelob Ultra on the beach is very nice. I had a Michelob Ultra. It wasn't the worst. I like a good High Life, nice ice cold High Life. I'll crush one down. High Life as well. Nice High Life. I had a Michelob Ultra though. I think last summer that someone brought in the house. I was like, I haven't had one of these in a minute. I was like, it's pretty good. It's like a beer soda. It's not bad. Yeah, hey, it does the trick. It's refreshing, right? It's better than like the White Claws. The White Claws, it's just too much. I don't know. Yeah, it's becoming too trendy of a thing. Just drink a vodka soda or something. Why? I don't get it. But yeah, I don't either. But that's now even up here with like the local Maine breweries, a lot of them are starting to make their own seltzers and stuff. There's no question, it's a huge market. People want it, so you'd be foolish to not, I suppose. I'm not hating on that. I'd rather have one from a craft brewery that's making something good than just the ones that taste like sugar. At least I've had some that are right, I guess, but I don't know. So Maine lobster, that's a big. Well, before we get to lobster, I guess let me ask you this: you're talking about local, like sustainable stuff. What about? Is there a lot or a little bit of like pastured animals up there? So down here, like I like seeing a lot of these like farms that are, growing their own lamb and pork and cows even that you can get your hands on. When it comes to slaughter time, it's local. Well, raised the proper way and all that stuff. Or is there a big culture of that going on up in Maine? I would have to assume that there is. Yeah, we have a lot of that. Maine has a lot of like almost like hyper local agriculture where people will have plots of land and even just have like one or two cows or some goats, and they end up providing for like their immediate group of friends and family, and there's a lot of that. So like a lot of people have access to local produce, local meat, local eggs. You drive around, you drive a square mile anywhere in Maine that you'll see at least one or two people with a stand out front selling eggs from their chickens out back. That's lovely. Yeah, so there's a lot of that, a lot of hyper-local agriculture and easy access to it for everybody. And that makes me happy it's happening. Everyone I talk to generally has some more than others, but it makes me happy that it's happening out there. I feel like it used to be hard to find, and now it's just it's becoming a thing, which is good. No, it's great, and I think that's the way things should be. It helps communities thrive when you have a solid agricultural basis for like people to have access to, right? And that being able to share it is what's needed and missing from a lot of places. So it's great to have access to it. Yeah, especially the seafood thing. So let's get into a little bit of like the lobsters up there. Like what's going on? I was thinking about Maine lobster rolls versus Connecticut lobster rolls and just the style differences, right? That's just an opinion and stuff like that. But
you know, we can get Maine lobster down here in New Jersey, but obviously I'm thinking you're getting the first picks up there. So, you know, what is lobster season like once they start coming in up there? Is this lobster everywhere? Like, like down here in the Jersey Shore, it's like when, you know, summer hits, everyone's got everything all the time. There's no like specialty lobster season kind of thing, you know? Like up there, I would have to think like, I don't know, there's a first harvest or something like that, or like, you know, some kind of like lobster fest.
We have real. That's another, when you talk about like local agriculture and stuff like that, we have very easy access to lobster. So even just driving down the street, you'll see like lobster stands with people that have like 1 or 2 lobster traps out in the ocean.
Just pulling them
they're selling. I think lobster right now, you drive down the street and it's like $4.99 a pound.
Crazy.
And right now is the time where, I mean, people are coming up and more lobsters are being harvested, and the soft shell lobsters are out. So you can get soft shell lobsters even cheaper than the hard shell ones. And they're pretty amazing. I mean, it's not quite as much meat, but the meat that is there is so much sweeter and more tender.
Nice.
You can throw them on the grill, you break them open by hand. So right now is soft shell lobster season. So
man,
a lot of people are doing that.
Lobster's delicious.
Lobster's great. It's one of those things that has like such a strange history too, right? Like, it wasn't a food that people wanted to eat, and then it's now one of the most luxurious things. Like Maine lobsters shipped all across the world.
Yeah, like you get a raw bar plate and you don't have a lobster on it. You're like, what are we doing? Where's the lobster?
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Yeah, clams and oysters are great, but we got to have a lobster tail on here, or a claw or two. It's funny because, it's like roach of the sea. You know, it's kind of a big sea bug.
yeah. But yeah, lobster's such a big part of a lot of people's lives here. I mean, people depend on it for like their livelihoods. A lot of people fish for it, obviously.
I mean, I used to live in like a fishing town in New Jersey, and you know, a big bulk of the people, I mean, the whole town, you know, wakes up at 4 a.m. and goes out on the boats, and the town, the waterfront's buzzing with fishermen. You know, it's kind of crazy.
Yep, that's how it is here as well. I mean, we have a lot of striper fishing and stuff going on here right now, but I live right by one of the boat launches here in Biddeford. And every morning I take the dog out, and all the people with their boats are going down and getting out in the water. It's just fishing as a part of life. And I'm actually coming down to New Jersey in August for the first time, going to the Jersey Shore. So
nice. Get at me when you're here, dude. We'll go grab a beer.
Yeah.
If I get up to Maine, we'll definitely do that. I got to go visit my friend up in Maine at some point, so definitely we got to meet up one of these ways. Come down to Jersey. I'll show you around.
Yeah, look at that.
I won't give you a lobster roll here, though. You get the good lobster rolls. I'll show you the pork roll stores or something down here.
Pork roll is one of my favorite things.
Pork roll's fantastic. Yeah. Anyone who doesn't like it, I don't know what you're doing. Who doesn't like it, though? I don't think anyone doesn't like it.
But yeah, lobster up here is given a lot of new local restaurants like the ability to blossom. We have a place called High Roller, which started at Bissell Brothers. They kind of started as like a food cart doing these lobster rolls. They do these lobster tacos and a cheese taco shell. But they've now started their own restaurant in Portland, and it's become one of the biggest names.
I have the menu open here. Yeah, this looks crazy.
Yeah, it's just like really great food. They always have great beer. They've kind of taken a charge in that Portland food community as being just great people doing a lot of work for the community and providing tasty food.
Nice.
So there's a lot of places like that have just started up as small little pop-ups and then become this big thing here in Maine.
Yeah, I love seeing that in these communities, and like Portland's a city like that, and like, you know, these I don't know, hip cities, for lack of a better term, you know, where the beer culture and stuff like that, you know, proliferates these people to be able to do businesses like this, and when the community is there to support it, that's fantastic. That's what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
These sandwiches look delicious.
Yeah, they're really good, and I mean that's the thing up here. I mean, everybody does a lobster roll a little bit differently.
Right.
So it's fun being able to explore all the different ones.
Everyone's got their... Yeah, it's cool to be in a region where it's like, this is the thing, when everyone's got it, you know, does their own tweak or something on it.
I mean, you have to love a lobster roll. It's I don't know who it's wouldn't. It's such a tasty little morsel.
I don't know who wouldn't like that. Lobster's so much work. Like, I feel like I want to make a lobster roll sometime, like in the summer, and I'm just like, what I gotta spend 2 hours now, like cleaning lobster. That's why there's so much goddamn money, because it's so much work.
That's what's great about the soft shell lobsters is that you just break them open right by hand, and it's so easy.
Yeah, that's probably a good move, but that's the one I don't think we get those even down here.
Exactly. So
we might.
Maybe.
But it's just so much work, the yield on the lobster is so little, and you're like, you make a lobster roll, it's like, my hands are hurting, cracked all this stuff. It's tough. That's why they're pricey though. That's why they're, down here, $25.
If you look at like the price of a whole live lobster here, it's say like $4.99 a pound right now. Then you can buy shelled lobster, but shelled lobster and already shucked lobster is $35 a pound.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot.
It's because it's such a labor-intensive process.
Yeah, I mean that's why down here like lobster rolls. It's like lobster you can get for cheap, but the lobster rolls literally $25 somewhere. It's delicious, it's great, but you got a guy in the back literally spending 20 minutes de-shelling a lobster by the case.
Yeah.
It's definitely,
nobody wants to do that.
No, I mean it's definitely labor intensive. In the food world, it's definitely one of the most labor intensive things I can think of, at least. Making a lobster roll, unless you're buying it.
It's a lot of work, but it's worth the reward.
Oh yeah, it's delicious. Again, it's like who's not liking a delicious lobster roll? A done right lobster roll. All right, so that restaurant looks great. What else is up there? I mean, what other kind of great restaurants you got up in your area that were good? Is there anything kind of like I don't know, uniquely Maine that we're not tapping into here? I mean, obviously lobster rolls are going to be everywhere. I don't know. Is there anything that kind of sticks out that we're not tapping on here?
Yeah. I mean, there's so much in Maine. It's such a big state that's so sparsely populated, but we have like so many different kind of things. So like we have like that lobster focused coastal community, but then as you get more inland and get more north and west, we have there's a place called the Lost Kitchen. Erin French is the chef.
Okay.
And I think she has a show on the Discovery Channel that follows her, but it's an all woman team. In order to get a reservation, you have to send them a postcard.
Oh, so I've heard of this place before. Now that you say that, I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's amazing. I haven't eaten there. I'm excited to once they open back up. But you every year we'll draft a postcard and you draw on it, write why you want a reservation, send it. They go through them, then they choose diners to come in for this whole dinner experience.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it's such a quintessentially Maine thing almost, or that New England homing, welcome into my home.
Right. What kind of business plan is that? We're just gonna have people send us postcards and join with us, and we'll decide who's coming to eat.
I know, it's so interesting. It's like, well, I mean, if you have people that are willing to do that, it's great for developing such a profound business that it really affects a lot of people. People wait for years trying to go there.
Yeah, I feel it's
almost like what the French Laundry did, or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard of this now that you're talking about it. I'm looking at the website. It says make it dining out is a privilege, and not everyone's fortunate enough to enjoy. So they're obviously encouraging people to donate to a Food Works program they're partnered with up there, which is great.
Yeah, and so what was great with that during the COVID pandemic and everything, while she wasn't able to serve in the restaurant, she still was able to employ her employees by starting this online farmers market and showcasing produce and cheese and just everything from purveyors and farms that she worked with at the restaurant.
Nice.
That now didn't have a means to get rid of their stuff. So she was selling all this stuff out of her restaurant in Freedom, Maine, which I mean, for me, is a 2-hour drive. It's up there.
Right. And
people were driving from all over just going to pick up and support all these different local farms and producers of artisanal products.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, I mean, it's hard enough to be open in a business like that in good times, let alone coronavirus times, whatever, pandemic times. Is there a lot of corona impact up there, I guess? Like during the pandemic, you see a lot of mom and pop shops go out of business and things like that, or did a lot of places stick it through? Because down here, a lot of places just, through no fault of their own, just couldn't hang on because, no business.
Yeah, we've seen it with a few places, but it almost seems like a lot of these mom and pop places are thriving more than ever.
Nice.
So a lot of people have turned, instead of turning to the Chili's and the Applebee's and the corporations that I did a lot of work for, they're going to these mom and pop places and supporting local, and a lot of them are thriving because of it. So it's almost been, people have obviously had to adapt and figure out new ways to do things, new ways of production and service. But it's created a lot of benefits for a lot of people, a lot of businesses.
Yeah, it's interesting how things are shifting, especially like today, you know, this week, and like just things are constantly evolving and you know, growing, and it's weird, you know, weird times the past year, but you know, in the end, everything will even itself out. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, definitely.
One hopes. So R&D stuff up there. Any kind of cool R&D projects that you could talk about that you've done up there? You said you work for Chili's and stuff. Like, what did you do with that?
Yeah, I mean, so I was the whole COVID pandemic affected me too. I ended up being furloughed from my job, and then eventually laid off, and now I've just been, I did 5 years of the development process. So I worked for a company called Diane's Fine Desserts, and we did consulting work and manufacturing for like Chili's and Olive Garden. I developed like the dolcini for the Olive Garden, which are the small little miniature desserts.
Oh, nice.
We did all of like the molten cakes for Chili's. I was on the savory innovation team for Dunkin' Brands.
Oh, crazy!
Developing like some of the new breakfast sandwiches. It's such a different process because I came from like the restaurant world. I was down in Louisiana working at a John Besh restaurant.
Oh, nice.
And then somehow segued into this R&D field. And it's provided a lot of opportunities and a lot of it's helped me a lot in developing my own business plans and aspirations and stuff like that.
That's cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a whole different side of the business. You know, it's funny where you see a lot of people in the industry go, you know, because you can go anywhere you want. You can stay in the kitchen all your life, or you can, you know, go out there and find a R&D job and figure out how to make the bloomin' onion better. There's all this shit in between.
Exactly. And I mean, like some days I'd be standing there and be like, "Whoa, this is kind of surreal." I'm buying every single ketchup from every grocery store. And then I'm spending my day just tasting ketchup,
right?
And noting the different flavor profiles of different ketchups, trying to develop a ketchup for one of these companies.
Yeah, I mean that's it's someone's got to do that. That's important work, you know.
It is. It's very important work.
It is.
And so we did it.
Developing new stuff for bigger companies like that. That's got to be a wacky job. It's got to be cool. That's all
fun. It's fun to be able to go out and like see your product at just like out and about, or somebody enjoying it, knowing that, hey, like I created that recipe and that formula, like came up with those flavors. Yeah, you know, things people don't think about when they're sitting in Chili's, whatever they're eating there. It's just like, you know, how many people and teams sat around discussing the ketchup sauce and how to make it, you know, perfect. All those products take like, I mean, at the end of the day, they take like years to develop or something. I mean. There's a lot of different moving parts and components. Yeah, I always like seeing like when a new like I don't know fast food like thing comes out, like, you know, McDonald's gets a new chicken sandwich or something. It's like, you know how many like meetings and like probably millions of dollars are spent. And discussions of just like, we got to get this chicken right, we got to fix the bun, you know, every little thing that like me and my food nerd friends would discuss when we make a sandwich, you know, at a very high level with a budget. Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah, I mean, Maine has a large manufacturing industry. I mean, there's a lot of manufacturing up here, food-wise and other things, but a lot of food manufacturing, and it provides a lot of jobs for people. And there's a lot of every factory like that is manufacturing whatever they may be, even those the beans and the brown bread, they have an R&D team. Yeah. So there's somebody developing like that canned brown bread, making sure it stays consistent. Stuff like that. There's a lot of things in this canned brown bread. I don't know if there are. There's a lot of unnecessary items here, but again, it's not bad. It's better than I expected. You don't expect canned bread to be that good. It's better than expected. I thought there was gonna be juice and liquid in it. Thankfully, there's not. Yeah, thankfully not. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a mess. It's actual bread. What, do they bake it in the can? Is there yeast in there? Is it baking soda? It gets baked in the can by steam. Yeah, steam heat. Yeah, baking soda. All right. Yeah, so they put it in there, and it's probably like half the size. I wonder if they got any explosions on the line. They have to, I would think. I'm sure that it happens. Yeah, that has to happen. Just exploding. I was working in a factory. I had a lab in a factory, so I saw the manufacturing process of all these desserts and stuff. And there's definitely some accidents. Oh, yeah. I mean, just baking bread in a can just sounds like a very dangerous proposition. Like, canned stuff is one thing, but like letting a product rise perfectly in a can, you know, is as dialed in as it is. I'm sure there's some errors sometimes. Yeah, make sure you get your baking soda, baking powder levels right. Yeah.
I'm sure they got it to a science, and you're part of that. The Needhams, let's see, we had those. I mean, this just tastes like an almond joy to me, though. The Needham,
it's like a local almond joy nougat. It's tasty.
Yeah, I like coconut. That's not Maine though. The potato is though. It is fluffy, so I guess that makes sense. I don't know. We cover a lot of stuff here. We cover the delicious beers, heady beers, Portland, Allen's, bread. What are we missing? Are we missing anything?
So there's a big food truck scene up here too. I don't know how it is. Do you have a lot of food trucks down there in New Jersey?
We did, like pre-pandemic, there was a lot of food trucks and they were getting big. But the thing is down here with the food trucks, and I don't know how it is in other states, you need to have a food license in each town you want to operate. So you can't just get it and then roll around the state. And the way, it's tricky that way. So if you have a truck, all the trucks, the point being are in the busier locations like Jersey City and like the bigger cities. Like Portland would probably be a great place to have it. Yep. But the smaller towns and stuff like down where I am, it's kind of doesn't make sense. They're out here. There's a few of them, but that's not as big in the smaller towns as it is in the city and stuff like that. But they're out there. There's some good ones doing some work for sure.
Yeah, we have here in Maine. I mean, like even the small towns have. You still have to get licensed. You have to be licensed in individual districts and whatever.
Right.
But even small towns have their like local food truck, and that's a thing that is always fun, going out and exploring new ones, seeing new ones open, things like that. It's a big part of the culture of like almost like the whole lunch truck aesthetic. So
right. People
working Maine's a big mill community. There's a lot of mill communities, and people still work in the mills, and they get out on their lunch breaks, and there's always a food truck there or something.
A cart outside, lunch cart.
Yeah. But now that whole lunch cart idea is turning into a more trendy kind of thing, and all of them are using, or not all of them, but I mean a large portion are using like local produce and just doing things right and creating an interesting product. So it's fun to see that happening around.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, food trucks are great. It's great that, people can pick up a truck and roll the dice on some kind of smaller item and see, how it hits, and then, like I said, turn it into a restaurant like the other guys did.
Exactly.
I feel like every state I talk to, I'm always surprised that there's always great tacos. Everyone tells me they have the greatest tacos. And I was like, you're in Idaho. Why do you have the greatest tacos? Trust me, dude. They got the greatest tacos around here. Is there some kind of great Mexican scene? Tell me there isn't in Maine.
No, there is. We have some great tacos.
See, I love tacos. I'm just stunned. Like, these Midwest cities are like, you don't understand. I've been to California. I've been to Mexico. These are the best tacos. It's like, I don't know, man. But every state's got it. Every state's got.
I've had great. The best tacos I've had have probably been in Denver. I'll say it, but Denver, maybe Nashville. Maine has some great tacos, and it definitely has like a great authentic like Latin American scene,
right? And
not just Mexican food too. I mean, there's a lot of Dominican, Puerto Rican island food.
Nice.
A lot of South American food. So it's really, really varied. So while, yeah, we have some great taco trucks, we also have a place right in Portland that's old school as can be, called Tu Casa. And they do El Salvadorian food. And what they're known for is their pupusas.
Oh, yeah.
So a pupusa, just like, I mean, that to me, I mean, it's just like a stuffed taco almost, but that cornmeal dough stuffed with cheese and herbs.
It's delicious.
And they just griddle it. And that's definitely a big thing in Portland.
Yeah, I love simple food is always often best, right? And that goes to a lobster roll. There's crazy ones I'm sure with all kinds of shit in it that's delicious, but the simpler the better. Yeah, just cook it right. A little bit of the mayo in there.
Yeah, and another big thing is the Italian sub here in Maine. I don't know if your friend has talked to you about the Italian sub at all.
No, I mean, I am in New Jersey, and to me, Italian subs, I go to one place, and it's in Philly. You go to Philly for the hoagies, and that's it. But tell me about the Maine. Tell me about the Maine Italian subs. I didn't realize.
The Maine Italian's like a big thing, and it's totally. I grew up in Massachusetts, and an Italian sub is definitely more similar to like a Philly hoagie or something like that. With like the capicola or like the different salamis, mortadella.
Right.
Up here in Maine, an Italian is a broad term. It's an all-encompassing term, and it's basically a sub that's on a giant hot dog roll.
Oh.
So the bread was originally baked by this company in Portland in the 1900s called JJ. I think it was JJ Riley's. And there's like a big Italian immigration into Portland. and they started making these cold cut subs, and it's big hot dog roll with salami, like provolone, and then sliced vegetables. So you don't have like the huts, and you don't have all that stuff on it. It's just a very simple cold cut sandwich.
Interesting.
But there's big chains up here like Amato's, and every town has their local Italian spot, and people eat Italians on a weekly basis here.
I'm looking at pictures of it. It looks like they put, I don't want to say a salad in the middle because that's more like a hoagie. This is literally huge chunks of like peppers, like big cut, like things you would have in a salad though, like a big.
Yeah, it's just like a big slice of pepper, big slice of tomato.
Yeah,
and it's like,
big onions.
They slice all the deli meat on Italians up here is sliced probably twice as thick as I'm used to, or
right.
I order it from a deli or something like that. You get like thick slices of salami, thick slices of cheese.
I like that.
And it's just like, it's really like the most simple sandwich. People say that the Italian sub was invented in Maine and not in Portland in 1909, but it's argued. But it's definitely not an Italian that most people know.
Yeah, no, I'm looking. I didn't hear about this. I'm looking at it. I mean, it looks like it's weird. It's definitely different than a hoagie. You can see it's thicker. The bread's definitely like looks softer, like you said, like a hot dog kind of bun. And
it really tastes like a sandwich that you would make at home.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like it's comforting. It's nice to go. Like you grab one of those. They're usually like $5. A lot of the places are cash only, and you like bring it to the beach or something, you know. And
yeah, perfect,
and,
perfect, perfect beach.
It's
food.
not too heavy. It's just like a tasty, like light thing to eat. Light in quotes.
Now I want a hoagie. Yeah, it's not light.
I know. It's like I want everything. It's like, oh my god.
Oh man, well, fried clams and a hoagie right now. Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep drinking this coffee brandy though. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else? The food truck you said you were working on. Your friend's food truck.
Yeah, so my friend has a food truck that it's called George's North Shore, and we do. This is I don't know if have you done your Massachusetts episode yet?
No, not yet. That's coming up soon, actually, I think.
There's like a sandwich in Massachusetts on the North Shore called the North Shore roast beef. And a North Shore roast beef is, I mean, it's the best sandwich in the world, in my opinion.
North Shore roast beef, huh? All right.
Yeah, and it's just roast beef. It's just rare roast beef on like a grilled onion roll with cheese, mayonnaise, and this barbecue sauce called James River. You get it from U.S. Foods. It's like a tangy barbecue sauce. And every town has a roast beef sandwich place. So he opened up a food truck up here, and I helped him. I promoted for him and help him out, and it's great to see him succeed. We're the only place in Maine doing roast beef, so it's always fun to bring my dog over there, and he gets a little bit of beef. I get to see my friends being successful and all that.
That's great. What's the name of the place?
Providing beef. It's called George's North Shore. So it's a food truck just based out of Portland. They're at Battery Steel Brewing, which is another great brewery on the weekends. And
the roast beef looks amazing. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's just it's like another one of those things where simple is better. It's super simple. I mean, it's like 3 ingredients.
Just do them right. That's it.
Exactly. You do things right. You be consistent, and people will come back for it.
It reminds me of the what's the beef sandwich in New York? The beef on weck, kind of.
Beef on weck. Yeah.
Week weck. Yeah. It's This looks delicious though.
It's definitely similar to that. A lot moister. You need a lot more napkins to eat a North Shore beef. There's a whole Facebook group that has like 20,000 people in it. It's like a belligerent community of people just rating North Shore roast beef sandwiches.
Of course there is. Thanks, internet.
Yeah, it is. It's a blast. It's called North Shore Beefs, and people rate their sandwiches. They take them very seriously.
I'm sure.
Just like people take pizza seriously. And that's another thing up here. There's some great pizza as well.
Is Maine got its own style of pizza? I mean, when I did, where was I? Connecticut. I met the New Haven, Connecticut pizza man. I forget. He's fantastic, but he was passionate about pizza. And we went deep on New Haven style pizza, what it's all about, what it means. Is there a Maine style pizza, or is it just?
There's definitely a Maine style pizza, and it's definitely that like Greek style pan pizza.
All right.
A lot of the places, I mean, even here in Biddeford, we have a place that's usually named like Maine's best pizza. It's called Pizza by Alex. They've been open for like 75 years. They have like 10 different pizzas, and they're one size only, and they serve them on plates. So if you get it to go, they give it to you on a plate, and they put another plate on top of it.
Weird.
And yeah, it's just a simple pan pizza. Not quite as thick as as a Detroit pizza, but it's still enough to get those crispy edges.
I love a crispy
The sauce
edge.
always has sugar in it. It's always a little bit sweeter, and then the cheese always uses a mixture of cheddar in it, so it's not like straight mozzarella.
It's definitely Greek. I will get the pictures of Pizza by Alex. It's definitely Greek styles. Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah,
it's like puffy.
That's what Maine pizza is, and it's like it takes a while. I mean, there's a lot of great pizza too. So there's local Neapolitan style pizza, but this is what.
Right. Yeah, everyone's got a Neapolitan pizza place now.
Yeah.
That's almost like you expect that. There's breweries around. You're going to find a Neapolitan pizza truck, probably not too far behind.
Yeah, exactly.
But this Maine pizza looks good. I get it. It's fluffy. It's definitely crispy on the edge. I see the plate in this picture. It's a good picture. Look at that.
Yeah, and the places are always open late. They're usually cash only, and it's just like a cheap pie, like a $7 pie.
Right. It's probably super filling.
After a few beers or something.
Yeah,
like that.
for sure. It looks like good Domino's is what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a place here in Maine, out in Lyman, so down kind of like out west a little bit, maybe like 10 minutes out west from where I am. And it's called Funky Bow Brewing, and it's owned by father and son. It's 25 acres. They have like an 18-hole disc golf course.
What?
They have live music every weekend. They play good Grateful Dead music and stuff.
Nice.
Dogs can be there like off leash, but they have a wood fire oven. They make their own dough with the spent grain from the brewery.
I love that.
And they sell pizzas. They have music. There's just dogs and people running around. It's the quintessential Maine experience, like being in your neighbor, best friend's backyard, like having a backyard cookout.
It's fantastic.
And Funky Bow is that place.
It looks
So
really
the pizza's
cool.
phenomenal, and it's cool to see a company using waste or usable waste, which is like the spent grain, and putting it back into the business, being sustainable and stuff.
Yeah,
like
that's the best. And yeah, what was I gonna say? There's shit, I completely forgot. Let's talk about Funky Bow. Yeah, there's I was looking up when I was looking at stuff to get from Maine. There was a wine producer that was up in Maine that they were using. What were they using? They were very north, but I didn't get my hands on it. But it looked interesting. They were making like a pet nat with Maine grapes, I think.
Yeah, I was actually gonna go get a bottle. I wanted to get a bottle and drink it on the. I don't know.
Nice.
Show it to you on the show. It's sold out everywhere.
Yeah, I think you could buy it online, but they were very far from Portland, where my friend's at, and it just wasn't going to happen. But it looked interesting. I forget the name of the company.
Oyster River Wine Growers.
That's it. Oyster River Wine Growers. Yeah.
They also, that's another place. They do a pizza night at their winery up north. I haven't made it up there. I really want to. It's a drive. That's the thing. I mean, you can, from the border of New Hampshire and Maine to get to the top of Maine. I mean, you would drive for 7 hours. So it's such a vast place. Like some of these producers, this Oyster River Wine Growers, they're out there.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. I was like, hey man, if I get some of this stuff, do you want some? I was going to order a couple bottles. He's like, yeah. And look, he's like, dude, this is like 6 hours away from me.
Yeah. It's really, really good. I'm always down to mule some or whatever. It's so worth trying. They have such old school production methods.
Yeah, I like stuff that is all from especially these shows. I'm always looking for something that's like all uniquely Maine, like, or from some other state. It's like I had some great what state was it? Georgia makes a rum, and they use this one company, Richland Rum. They use all of their own sugarcane that they grow on their own property. It's like tiny batch, amazing. Like they make tiny batches, and I love rum, so I was like, oh, let me get a bottle of this. Like I really was like, how good could it be? And it's probably cool to have, but it is so good, like so goddamn good. And
wow, that's amazing.
I'm always hyping it, and I love that because they're growing it there. It's like uniquely Georgian. It's like their sugarcane. They're doing their own process. Not like the Martinique version. They're doing like their own thing. And it was so cool. I wish I could talk to those dudes, but they never got back to me. But the rum is killer.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah. And the thing with wine too is the wine world's such a picky place. I mean, there's like the AVAs, and wine has to be grown in certain regions.
Yeah.
Maine's not known for its wine grapes. Like the Vitis vinifera wine, grape doesn't grow well up here. But they're able to do it, and they're able to do it in such a funky kind of way where they're producing wine that verges on the side of cider, like a Basque style cider with some like funk to it.
Which I love. That's why I was like super stoked when I saw this. So some of the ones they make, they get fruit from Long Island, which a lot of places do, and that's cool because Long Island could grow some great fruit. But then they had they had ones that were like fully carbonic, macerated Maine fruit, and I was like, yeah, give me that. Like, I don't know what you're doing, just throw it in a tank the old school way, cover it up, and when it's ready, it's ready. Like, that's what I want. Then they had one that was like blueberries and shit. I was like, yeah, give me all that. That's what
I actually just had I attended a Zoom lecture with Devonish Wines as an importer here in Portland who imports natural biodynamic wines.
Nice.
Like he does like the Susakaru and all that.
Nice.
But he works with Oyster River, and he put on a lecture with the winemaker from Oyster River, and he gave us all tank samples.
Oh, that's great.
Tasting all of their different pet nuts.
Yes.
And talked about the process of the process that he uses to make the wines. Even like fermenting some of the juice in New York and trucking it back.
Yeah.
It's basically just a big farmhouse where they open top ferment a lot of stuff. So,
yeah, I mean that's like the old school, way they used to make it, and like most things, everyone's getting back to the old way of doing things. Some people don't. I find more people are getting into those funky kind of wines. More people are open to popping a bottle, getting a weird smell, and letting it evolve and like tasting it. I think they're great. They make it feel better too. You don't. I think the more naturally fermented stuff doesn't hit you as hard the next day, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And you're experiencing something like new and something that's like a direct product of the land and the earth and nature.
Yeah, it's what it's supposed to be. It's unaltered. It's like and to do that, there's probably it's like we were talking about before. Consistency and all that stuff is kind of out the window with something that's wildly fermented. But there's a product that you can make with that. I'm sure there's if you do that professionally, there's a way to tweak it and make it perfect. Or better or worse, and the ins and outs of everything. It's not. I'm sure it's just as simple as throwing it in a concrete tank and walking away, and it's just as complex as anything else.
There's like that. There's that term terroir in French, which means like of the earth.
Yeah.
And that's like another kind of. I always think of like terroir and Maine going hand in hand because everything in Maine like goes back to like the earth and like whether it's how people make their money or what people do in their free time. There's such a sense of place here.
Right.
On a macro level as a whole, as the state of Maine, but also on a more micro level in all of the different areas around here. But there's such a strong sense of place. And it's something that just continues to thrive.
I love that. That makes me happy to hear like in all these places that's happening, because I feel like in New Jersey there's really not that. It's like New Jersey's like this kind of big melting pot of stuff, which is cool, but it doesn't have the areas does too, I'm sure, but it just doesn't have that kind of like connection, I think, to certain to itself, in my opinion. But I can be spoiled because I live here. You live somewhere for long enough, you get jaded by it. Someone could come here and be like, this is the greatest. I don't know.
I've driven through New Jersey a couple of times, and I was always surprised. Like, I always think New Jersey is like a city-like atmosphere. But I mean, driving out west through New Jersey, like, I mean, you're out in. There's like a lot of agriculture and farming and stuff out there. Totally different world.
Totally. Northwest Jersey is a beautiful. You wouldn't even know you're in New Jersey. It's like beautiful mountainous farmland. Like it's a whole kind of different world in Northwest Jersey. And then, like I said, like generally the North, Central, and South. If you draw a line down the middle of New Jersey and just go on the North, Central, South on the East Coast, it's kind of one big city almost. It's like there's spots in between, but it kind of all bleeds. Like the towns bleed into each other, and till it turns into the shore, and then it turns into Atlantic City, and then Cape May, and then you're there. But the East, the West rather is very agricultural in the North, especially, and in the South, there's like pine barrens, like big woods and forests and stuff like that. It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to Atlantic City for the first time. I'm going to go see Fish for 3 nights.
Nice. You got tickets, or you put in for the lottery? I saw your shirt. I'm excited they're on tour too. I might see you down there at those shows if I get tickets. I put in for it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Hell yeah.
So
I was there last time they were there. It was great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great show.
So yeah, never been to Atlantic City, so I'll be coming from Maine to New Jersey. And then you always think about Bruce Springsteen, and I'm like,
I don't like Bruce Springsteen, but it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan, but it's okay. AC's cool. AC's fun. If you go down there, you got to go to White House Subs. Eat some subs at White House Subs. That's the place to be.
That's what somebody said. That's the first stop.
That's the first stop to eat, and then what they're doing it. What is it? August? Yeah, it's August. It'll be hot. It'll be cool. Hopefully, I don't know what the casinos are like right now. If they're like open or you got a mask. Like by then, I'm assuming the mask thing will probably be a little bit looser and all that. 'Cause it seems that's loosening up by the week here.
Maine just started allowing casinos up here. I mean, within the last 5 years, and so we have two big ones that opened up, and it's provided some like entertainment for more like rural communities. They're all up north and stuff. But a lot of them, they host concerts and stuff. I know Fish played up at Bangor in Maine the other year, and that was at one of the casino properties.
Yeah, that blows up the casino for the night, at least. You know,
exactly,
like that's a good business. That's good. And yeah, it's good to have theaters like that and casinos and stuff. It's a good place, especially with the Fish crowd. It's good to keep them all in casino. It's a good place. Casino Fish crowd. That's a fun party.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. All right, man. I don't know. I want to keep you all day and just sit and chat with you, but we should probably go on with our days.
Yeah.
Jordan, dude, thanks so much for joining. If you want to, plug anything, feel free. I don't know. If not, it's all good.
I'm on Instagram, R&D Chef. I'm going to be starting up my own pop-up soon up here in Maine, doing kind of like egg rolls, funky egg rolls. Hopefully starting like a house of pizza sort of place that's like local chef driven, simple.
Nice.
Just get up to Maine and enjoy everything it has to offer. Go eat a roast beef at George's, go to Funky Bow, have a beer. You can go anywhere. You can eat good food and you can meet good people. You can see beautiful things. So it's a great state. And it's great. I could talk about Maine all day. I mean, it has so much to offer.
I got to get up to Maine. When I get up to Maine, I'm going to find you, and we're going to have some beers. We're going to eat some lobster rolls, bro.
Yeah, perfect. I can't wait for it.
And when you get down to Jersey, look me up. We'll definitely go out and meet you at AC. We'll have some beers.
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll go see the show for sure, for as long as I get tickets.
Oh, yeah. Getting the tickets is the hard part.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you having me on the show. It was great. It was great talking to you. It's great, talking to the audience and everything.
Yeah, dude, it's fun, man. This is fun. Thanks for doing it. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Right.
I'll talk to you, bud.
You.
Be good, buddy.
Yeah.
Yay. Jordan was great. Maine. What a nice guy from Maine. Jordan Dodano. Saying his last name probably wrong again. At R&D Chef on Instagram. Follow him up. We went deep on Maine, the terroir of Maine, the deep of Maine, the culture of Maine, the food of Maine, the drink of Maine. He was cool. It was a good chat. Makes me feel good to know that these cultures and people are out there. Good people out in Maine. Good people in all the states so far. Maine, you're pretty cool. Your brandy's pretty good. Your soda's questionable, and I don't know why your bread is in the can. But let's see where we're going next week. Where's the schedule? Come on now. Where's the schedule? There it is. Week 19 in the bag. Lock it up. Maine is over. Week 20, Maryland coming up next. Big bad Maryland. Followed by Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana. The M's are here, baby. Big M states. I don't know what we got in store for those. What the hell are we going to do in Michigan? What are we doing in Michigan, guys? We got anything? I don't know if we got anything. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Maine, you're fantastic. Wish we had lobster rolls here, but we don't. Your brown bread is, it's like raisin bran in a can. Your NEEDHAMS are great. Potatoes, fantastic. Lobster rolls, beautiful. MOXIE, not bad. Bread in a can, we got to go with that. And your CRETONS, I don't know. We don't want that. This is a keeper. Allen's coffee-flavored brandy. You've brought this to the world, and we thank you for it. Delicious stuff. Throw it in your bag and say you're from Maine. Maine, thank you so much. Guys, everyone for watching, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bitsandbytes.us will bring you to the YouTube page. Please subscribe, like, all those things. Watch all the videos. This full episode and all of the other ones are there. Watch, click, click, click. Follow Jordan on R&D Chef. Follow me at the Billy Vegas, at Hack Chef. Next week, we'll be back doing it again. Thanks so much for joining. Maine, you're great. We'll see you.